Welcome to the movie review podcast. We still don't got a name yet. Working on it. But yeah,
What's up,
how you
guys?
doing this week, man?
I'm doing good. My name is Will. You can follow me at PepMD on social media. I'm happy to review this movie, which is, I would say, in my opinion, like a stoner comedy. But how you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. I watched this. Actually, I watched it today. I didn't get a chance over the weekend, but it was a pretty short movie. What was it, an hour and a half?
Yep.
Yeah. So it was Eric Andre's new movie. I don't want to spoil it yet with the rating, but Eric Andre, we know from Adult Swim, Eric Andre show, stuff like that. He made a movie. Tiffany Haddish is in it. Who else is in it? I can't think of what's the co-star guy from real name.
Lil Ray Howery,
There you go. Yeah.
as well as a few other characters. Yeah, I can't really mention too many. But
Yeah.
yeah, those are the main characters for sure that we'll see throughout the whole film. That might make you laugh. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I have the trailer. Give me a second, and we can watch the trailer. Maybe I'll try to so the volume's not so loud.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. So we have this is the Red Band trailer. So this is gonna have all the juicy stuff.
Yeah,
If
okay.
you're ever gonna watch a trailer, the Red Band trailer is the way to go.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah.
We are about to embark on a trip of a lifetime.
Why did you do that?
Don't play with me, mother.
The Red Band trailer.
I don't think we ever gonna get out of this town. I'm telling you, seeing Maria today, that was a positive omen. Maria!
Oh my God,
I haven't seen
Chris.
you in forever.
If you're ever in Manhattan,
Is she
I'll show you
a
around.
famous actress?
Okay. Yes.
I feel like I've
Great
seen her
seeing
before,
you,
but
Chris.
I don't remember her.
I can't put my finger on it. I don't know.
Look at our lives, man. Spinning our wheels. Bullshit job after bullshit job.
Like the guys who did Jackass, so you know what kind of movie you're getting.
Oh my God, turn it off! Oh, I'm gonna get fired again. Oh, shit.
Again?
Yeah.
Get better, brother. I'm talking road trip to the motherfucking promised land. The air. Wow, sweet. We're not taking my sister's car, man. She will kill us. Your sister's in jail. She'll never know.
Fuck out of here.
Don't tell nobody. I'll kill every single one of you white motherfuckers. Snitches get stitches.
We got 4 whole days. We can kick back, relax, and breathe in.
That scene wasn't in the movie, was it?
That was not in the movie.
Of her breaking up like that, yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
I like to make a toast. What the fuck are you doing up there? He's a little nervous. We're the only black guys in here.
Get down.
I love you.
You see these dudes right here? They stole my car. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta. Oh, fuck the police! Holy shit!
Wow.
Sorry, I thought the window was open. Why did you do that?
You asked for a fucking jump. Don't play with me, motherfucker.
I know.
Oh man, this part.
He's a human being.
Oh Lord!
I did not expect that.
What y'all looking at? Mind your goddamn business. I'm from the street.
People from the street don't hang people from roof.
All right.
Wow.
So that is the trailer. I don't think I've seen the Red Band trailer before for that.
No. Okay.
Yeah, the guys who did Jackass and Bad Grandpa, which is basically, kind of the same idea where there's somewhat of a story, but very there's that prank stuff.
Very
If you ever
strings of
seen Bad Grandpa.
pranks, that break up a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so like another film you can compare it to, I would say, is Borat. Borat is another one where it's like only Borat is in on the joke. Everybody else that's public is not. So that's how the film is set up.
Yeah, yeah, it's a pretty quick film. Well, real one thing is this movie was supposed to come out in 2020. It was supposed to come out last year,
You got
and
pushed back.
because of COVID, it got pushed back an entire year. And I was kind of disappointed because I was really hoping to see. Um, I was really hoping to see. I think it got pushed back a couple times. It was supposed to come out like in February, I think. And they got pushed back, and then finally there's like we can't. And now they didn't want to sit on it anymore, so they gave it to Netflix. They sold it to Netflix,
Mm.
and Netflix got it now. So it's not even in theaters. You can only watch it on Netflix. And when I watched it, it was number one on Netflix. You know, they had like the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah, they have a
It
little
was,
ranking system with the big
yeah,
numbers that try to blow it up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it said top 10 when I clicked on it, and then I went to go see where it is on the top 10, and it was number one. And probably well deserved to be on the number one. It's not gonna stay there long. It's not gonna run any like crazy streaks, but it's good, man. If you know who Eric Andre is, you know his kind of style. You know,
Ron G. That
yeah,
man, like the one thing that I like that Eric Andre does is when he's playing a role, he'll dive deep into that role and
yeah,
be that role. Like he doesn't know any other reality than what that is, that role. So like
yeah,
on his show, like he'll ride those jokes even after they've lost their like shock value, and
yeah,
that's what he's all about. He's about the shock value. Like holy shit, did that just happen?
yeah. Oh yeah, big time, big time. The one thing real quick is I know you who you said his coworker, his co-star in the movie is
Lil Ray Howery.
yeah, I keep
Lil
forgetting.
Ray. Lil
Um,
Ray.
I don't know if that was supposed to originally be Hannibal Buress because him and Hannibal Buress were like BFFs on the show. They were doing stuff, and I know Hannibal Buress is like, I'm done being on the show. It's not that he hates him or anything. He's just like, it's time to move on, you know.
Right.
And I was like, fuck, like I feel like this should have been Hannibal Buress
I
instead
I,
of this
I
guy who
agree.
is a kind of a lookalike, you know.
He does kind of have some kind of like
The
familiarity to
glasses, yeah.
yeah, right, the glasses, the like the kind of more submissive
Hmm.
slapstick comedy, humor. He's more laid back and like, oh, like he's like, that's whack. He's that meme guy,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't know who he is. So like, I don't know, man. I do feel like he was kind of out of place. He did great. I'm not gonna take away the fact that he did what he was supposed to do. Like he's a great actor. He was in the other movie. What was it? Get Out. He was like also the hero in that
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was like the buddy
Spoiler
that
spoiler alert. Yeah, my bad.
yeah.
But yeah. So I think everyone did great. I have my own rating that I want to get to in just a second with you. That that I feel like it's gonna disappoint a lot of people. But I do
Mm,
love the comedy in here. The shock value is a okay.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. The same thing. So we'll get into what ratings and then we'll kind of break down what we like and what we don't like about it.
yes, yes.
How's that sound?
You want to go first this time? I went first
Yeah,
last time.
yeah, I'll go first. So say like out of I don't know what were we doing out of 10 last time?
Yes, let's
Man,
try this time out of 5. You want to do that, or
out
you
of
want to stick
five.
with 10? Yeah,
Yeah,
just
no,
to
it's
make
out of
it more
five. I think it's
more
low.
solid of an opinion. Like you're not
Yeah,
leaning too much one
I
side.
want to say it's a very niche
What do you think? Yeah,
genre. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
it's it's really like it's the own thing. But man, out of five, I gotta give it maybe like I want to say maybe a 3.5, maybe a 4. You
Mm,
know, somewhere
okay,
like that. It was really well done. A 4 is like kind of really pushing it, but
okay,
it's somewhere in between that range. You know.
okay.
What about you?
So when I see this film, I think of Impractical Jokers. I think of
Yeah.
Bad Grandpa. I think of Borat. So I kind of have to like. I know comedy is subjective, right? So not everyone's gonna think it's funny, right? It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is mine, right? So I have some
Mhm.
kind of a bias to like this more than other comedies because I like that shock value kind of thing. So out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give it a four, a four.
Okay.
And I know it's really immature comedy. It really is. Like
It
the
really is.
gorilla scene alone, like just kind of entails what this film is about, right?
It's like
I-
like you said, it was done, but then he goes back in and there's more, and it's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
really plays it
He,
to the
he,
max.
he he will milk a joke, but
Yeah.
not in a cliche way. It's more of a like, oh my god, why would you even there way? you know, like
Yeah.
I value it higher than what I really want to, but like I really do feel like they pieced the storyline, okay. Like they could have done better. It's not a 5 stars, but I do think
Yeah.
it's 4 out of 5 stars for sure.
Yeah.
Um, the you want to also talk about the love interest involved, the whole reason for this bad trip.
Yeah. So I could do a quick breakdown of the movie. The plot is very simple.
Okay.
That you have the two buddies. I wish I had a picture up. You have the two buddies, Chris, which is played by Eric Andre, and
Lil
Bud.
Ray, Lil Ray,
Lil Ray
Bud,
was Bud. There you go.
Bud Malone.
And they had Eric had a crush on this girl Maria, so they decided to travel from Florida, from where they live, to New York to go see her. I think you muted yourself.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. But yeah, so they went from Florida to New York to go see Maria, so he can proclaim his love for her. And then what they do is Tiffany Haddish is Bud's sister. They steal her car while she's in jail, and they go there. So she's kind of hunting them down as they go, and it's just all the pit stops and stuff in between, Florida and New York, and that's about it. I mean, kind of a love story, but also kind of like a manhunt kind of story with Tiffany Haddish hunting them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a simple story, but I mean, the storyline isn't what the main part of the movie is. It's definitely the jokes.
Yeah, it's definitely not the haymaker of the film. The haymaker of the film is definitely the outlandish, raunchy jokes that they do. That they throw in racism jokes, and they throw in kind of I hate to say it, bestiality jokes.
Yeah, yeah,
I never thought I'd say those words. Anyways, like yeah, they really go outlandish on this.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's kind of bonkers.
let's see for Maria, right? How do you think
Yeah.
she does in the film? Do you wish you would have saw more of her? Do you wish like she was in on? I mean, she was kind of in on some of the jokes, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a part where he has a dream sequence, like he's like
Yeah.
what his life could be with her, and I even enjoy that because even that was a prank, and I'm like, so it's not part of like the actual narrative of the story, but it's still they still make it a prank, and like he kicks down the door and they like he like rips open her like shirt and like they're on the table and people are like just staring and there's the one guy like just like, hey, yeah. And then like they somebody's like hitting on her then it goes to like a year later and they're like walking in a park or something and some guy hits on her and then like you think Chris is gonna say something but Maria starts whooping his ass and then sees a blind man and is like, what you looking at? Starts beating up the blind man.
Oh,
Like,
right, kick his cane and everything. Like
oh,
the
what? Beat him with
disrespect.
the cane. So it takes his money. Oh man, it
Wild.
really pushes like the limits of what and that. But yeah, I mean, she was 100% in on it all. Like, I mean, just like she's no one will ever grab a blind man's cane and beat them with it. It's just,
Right.
you know.
He-
But she was pretty good. I thought
Yeah.
she was in it enough. I think if she was in it more, it might have taken away from something else. Like introduce her, have the fantasy, and then have the conclusion, and that's all you really needed with her. Even the fantasy was extra, but I felt like that was enough.
Right.
I don't know.
I kind of compare this film to even what's that film, Dumb and Dumber, the first one with Jim
Yeah,
Carrey, because like same thing, he goes on a long trip for a girl that doesn't even know he exists type deal.
yeah,
And there they also have a fantasy where he like
oh, yeah. That's right.
kung fu's
Uh-huh.
the fucking waiter or whatever in there. Funny as hell. Um, so so yeah, I think I think if they would have used her more in the bits, I think they would have like been up there with the legendary films. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I don't know. I like I really liked it, but I wish I would have saw her more. Tiffany Haddish, another great female actress that, well, of course, another
Yeah, just on
female.
her own is amazing.
Right. She's so funny. She's so invested in her part. I want to talk about the scene especially. And you mentioned it earlier in the trailer, a scene that was not there in the film. So
Yeah.
when you see her busting out of the penitentiary under the ground, I don't remember seeing that in the Netflix cut. I don't
Mm-mm.
remember seeing that, and that's conflicting with the storyline because later in the sequence, and they also showed that as well. You see her busting out of prison because she was on a moving bus. I guess
Like the
transferring her
prison
to a
bus.
yeah, like
Yeah.
a prison bus, transferring her to a different facility. So like the storyline didn't like what that kind of confused me. But she was getting transferred, and she snuck off the bus somehow, like in an
I think
under like
she was under. Yeah, she was under. Yeah.
So does that mean I thought she was
Hmm.
in the bus and she broke out through like the internals of the bus?
Maybe because then the security or the police guard or whoever did say like, oh, somebody's missing. Like the guy that they're
Yeah,
pranking.
yeah.
There's like, oh, somebody's missing. Did you see a girl? And he's like, nope.
That was
Um,
funny as hell. That guy
that
though,
was
he was a G for that, for helping her out.
dude, dude, dude. That was awesome, man. He went. I thought that was so good because he's like, get the fuck out of here, get out of here now. He's like, run,
Run,
He's
run,
like,
go.
take off that jumpsuit and run. And then she kept wanting to hug him. He's like, get the fuck away from me. I thought that was hilarious. Like he was just like,
Like he wanted to help
yeah,
her out, but he wanted to make sure that he didn't make it known that he helped her out. Even the cop was
yeah.
like, "Did you help her out?" He's like, "What am I gonna do? Give him my vest?"
She's like, I thought that was funny. I thought that was so funny because that's like him just being like, because like she's like, can I get the vest? He's like, no. He's like, what am I gonna do? But then he even like helps out the cop a little bit. He's like, go that way. He's like, what? Go that way. So it's like he's playing a little bit of both sides. But I thought that was
Right.
that's just a guy. That's not in the script. That's not planned. That's just
No,
that's stuff like I like.
me too, man.
But
He kind of made that scene. He made that thing work because he was just so genuine. Like he wanted to help this girl, but he did not want to be a part of it.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, but like you were saying, there, like Tiffany Haddish, I feel like the parts of the movie she was in, she stole the movie. I feel like she
Yeah,
was she was so good at being just like prison ex-convict, girl out on the run and
catfish
she just,
face.
oh, man, like she was, but I'm like also like that's what happens when you get like an actual like comedian actress, you know, who's good at that, like
Right.
rather than you have like Eric Andre, who in his own right is, but nowhere is near as big as Tiffany Haddish. I mean,
Mhm.
and she didn't even look like herself. And I don't know if it's just like
They
something
did
like
her makeup to where her skin tone was more bland and not really popping because she's actually a really
yeah,
beautiful comedian, right? Like
yeah, oh, she's
she
super
actually has
pretty.
hella body. She's really smart, and she knows how to dig into roles of like any
Yeah.
movie type. She has a big
They
spectrum.
added like little mustache hairs in the corner of like her mouth. I swear, I kept trying to look, and I'm like, I think they added like little like the little
You watched it
mustache.
in AK, didn't you? Nah. No, I don't know if I saw that, man. That
I could be wrong. I was watching it on my phone,
oh,
but
okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I was looking at one part and I was like, what? But yeah, they did a lot of makeup on her. She was in she had her hair like in the
cornrows. She has
yeah, the
cornrows going
cornrows.
back, and she had the orange jumpsuit, and she didn't want to take it off. Like the first thing that when she's busting out, the guy is like, "Hey, take off those clothes and start running, go." And she didn't. She just kept running around with the orange jumpsuit. I wish they would have like. She would have like. Well, no, I don't want to strip in the movie, but like, but I wish she would have like grabbed like his clothes or something or something and try to
Mhm.
cover up or like I don't know, man.
But they could
It's
have had
like
like she beat up a bum and took his clothes, but the bum
something like
obviously
that.
was in on it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
closing the garbage I don't know, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make it like cliche, raunchy comedy, then go ahead throw that in there too. Fuck it.
But yeah, she was really, really well. Well, one thing real quick with her was Eric Andre was on the the Daily Show with Trevor Noah.
Okay.
And I watched it, and he was, because he's going around promoting the movie and stuff like that. Sorry, I got a kitty tail in my face.
Okay.
And he was talking about him and little Roy, was it?
Lil Ray.
Lil Ray. The first thing that they recorded was the Chinese finger trap scene. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Ooh, yeah.
That was the first thing they recorded, and they had they went into that barber shop and they got chased out, and I guess it was a lot worse, than what the film had in. And he
Yeah.
said, like, he goes, they were like legit afraid they were gonna get hurt. And little Ray was like, I'm done. He goes, I don't want to be part of this anymore. You're gonna get me killed. I guess he called Tiffany Haddish and like vented, and then Tiffany Haddish like got in contact with Eric Andre. She's like, I want in, So I was like,
Damn,
so I'm
okay.
like that's pretty cool. That's like the story he said it was. So it's like she came to them and like, I want to be in this movie,
So
and it's gonna be like she comes in, you're like, yeah, we got you, like for sure.
right, it definitely gives a more of a motivation other than the love interest, because like the love interest is it's been done. It's been done with the Dumb and Dumber. It's been
Yeah,
done with Borat, and it's been done with all these other films, right? So, but no, definitely she was a big motivator for them to leave. Because as soon as they were on their trip, then they figured out, oh snap, she broke out, and she's looking for us. And
yeah,
so like it's like, oh shit, so now they're on the run to their destination even quicker than what they wanted to, because in the beginning they mentioned like, oh no, don't worry about it, we got 4 days to go, blah 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 blah, into her art exhibit or whatever was going on in
yeah. That's what it
Manhattan.
was.
And I don't know, man, like it was pretty funny. One another
Yeah,
scene um you mentioned one of my and not for any sus reasons, right? But you mentioned the scene of the Chinese finger trap, but with penises. Yo,
yeah,
funny as
yeah,
hell.
yeah,
I knew that like watching just that clip, you know that's a scene coming from the guys that wrote Bad Grandpa. Like that's so
oh yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Crazy. And then to try to go to guys on a golf field and be like, hey, can you get us out of it?
Yeah, the guy in the golf field or playing golf, whatever, he was like kind of like, he's like, all right, get out of here, But then I think it was a build up to him getting annoyed with it.
Yes.
When they go in that barber shop, it was as soon as that guy sees him, he starts screaming. I was like,
If I'm not mistaken, when they were going up from Florida, the barber shop that was in Georgia. Is that right?
oh, maybe.
Because
I don't remember.
if I'm not mistaken, in Georgia, there's a big issue or problem with toxic masculinity, right? With murder rates and suicides of trans people and stuff like that. So like any outlandish ideas like that, they're not really open minded. Is what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah, well, anywhere down south, it's kind of like that.
so so them showing off their Johnsons, right? Like they're like, nah, don't if they're looking at it for too long, they think that they're gay or something like that.
Yeah,
So that's why they
yeah,
had
yeah,
the homophobic tendency to be like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like they just like they didn't
yeah.
think of helping. They didn't say like, hey, fine, you know what, we'll call you 911, or they didn't give him any other solutions than get the f out of here
And chase him out with a knife,
with a
like
knife,
with a
dude.
knife.
Wild as fuck.
I just, yeah, you heard him like screaming, and then they were like, "All right, get out, get out here!" He has a knife, and then you see him like run out, and the dude legit has a knife. I'm like, damn, like, So yeah, I mean, but I don't think any other time in the whole movie did they feel too,
Threatened?
yeah, like at risk. Like they're really gonna get hurt by anybody. Most of the time, it was kind of cool. I know they had one in the extra in the post credits as the credits rolled. They
Yes.
had one while they were in the bar, but that didn't make it into the movie.
Right.
But yeah, I think in the movie that was the only one that was like kind of scary. Everyone else was kind of like goofing off with them, kind of stuff.
So I was watching a few other like people talking about the film in case I missed something because
Mhm.
you can only watch a film so many times before you still find Easter eggs in the background or
Yeah.
whatever. So I watched a couple of reviews. Excuse me. I watched the film yesterday. Fell asleep halfway through the film because it was like late at night and it was after work.
Mm.
And so I finished watching it today. And then when watching it today, how do you say? You said you watched it on the phone, right?
Yeah, I watched it on my phone. I was like doing the dishes and watching it.
How do you say? I was watching it today, and I don't know. I feel like a little bit was too rushed, just because of how it got sent to Netflix or whatnot. And I
Mm.
think it might have been choppy. I think maybe they wanted to film more scenes. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think it was done last year. I mean, I'm sure they might have maybe filled in a few things. I'm thinking like instead of being rushed, I think things might have been cut out because of Netflix. So I was
Okay.
like, did they have to cut things out because Netflix is like, we can't do that, we can't show that, we can't show that. Maybe
Right.
maybe that whole her escaping from underneath the fence. Maybe
Okay.
something happened during that scene where Netflix is like, you need to get rid of that. You know, that's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, it did. There were parts where like it really felt rushed because there's times when I'm like, where are they at? Like, what state are they in? Like,
Yeah.
because it was just so quick, of them going from there to there.
Like I
But
feel like the whole film felt to me like you could have done it with a bunch of green screens. Like besides the people's reactions, like the people's reactions to what was going on, obviously, is crucial in actually getting their reactions at not a set, but like actually in the public. But
yeah,
yeah,
they got really good footage, like high quality footage for hidden cameras. I was like,
true.
damn, I'm like, how are they getting so good like footage? Because even on the bus, I was like, that looked really good.
th-
You
th-
know,
I want to dig into that more, but I feel like they had like an agreement with the bus company, and then like
oh
probably
yeah, yeah,
put
the
those
zoo
in,
for sure.
or maybe they probably rented a bus and then like put their own actors on there. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell sometimes when who's in on the joke and who's not. Because I feel like some of that stuff, like it had to be, it had to be people in on the joke.
yeah, yeah, like something like that. I feel like the bus driver for sure would have to be in on the joke, right? Because if somebody
Yeah,
gets up and starts singing like a shitty Alicia Key kind of song about the New York,
yeah,
I feel like the bus driver might like maybe most cases might stop and like, hey, you need to sit down, and he kind of let him go. I don't know,
let's see.
possibly. So I mean, certain people I don't know. Well, there's the other bus scene towards the end of the movie, like on a Greyhound kind of thing. I and I don't think the bus driver was in on that one.
No.
So I don't know. Yeah, because he even said something like, "Oh, it was the craziest thing to happen." I don't
Oh,
know.
and they were like, "Get the fuck out the bus." Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. At
Yeah,
the very end, right
yeah.
before. Okay, and okay,
That led up to the climax kind of thing. So, but yeah, so like you said, they were they're on their way and they're going through all the different states, and then they find they go to like a um like a rest stop kind of restaurant, and on the way, and I guess Tiffany Haddish gets in there first and starts like yelling at people like, have you seen, because the whole time she's like, have you seen these people, have you seen them, I'm gonna kill them, I'm gonna kill them,
oh yeah, yeah,
and and that one that one older black lady, she keeps telling them, she goes, well, she kept telling her like, I don't know, man, like
Yeah,
And then they come
at
in.
first, it looked like they weren't even invested. They were like, "Oh, wait, yeah,"
Mhm.
like, "No, I haven't seen them." Like, "Fuck out of here," you know. And then
Yeah.
when the guys finally came in, they're like,
Mm.
"Oh shit!" And they mentioned the key word about the car or the stolen car, and then you see the lady's reaction like, "Oh shit, that's them." And
She,
you hear them all whispering like, "Oh shit, that's the guy that stole the car," blah blah. blah. And
yeah,
then
I thought that
and
was so funny.
I just love the fact that they have a no snitching rule. That like
Well,
makes it
she
seem
did it.
she didn't, right, that makes it funnier so that
Uh,
they kept going the back and forth of like them leaving and then Tiffany Haddish coming and say like, hey, blah
oh
blah.
man.
And was one of the ladies snitched, didn't she though?
Yeah, the one that was like really into it because she was telling the guys, she goes, "Oh, she's gonna kill you. She had a teardrop. I mean, she killed somebody. I'm a security guard. I know this." But when they leave and she comes back,
Yeah,
he like snitches, and I guess the boyfriend or whoever that's sitting across the table from him, he's like, shut up, like he's telling her like, and then he's like, you talk too damn much.
right.
I thought that was
That
super
that
funny, but she was like in
was
it,
funny.
like she was like, you go get him, girl, you go get him. I was like, damn, you know she's gonna kill him, right? And you're just
Right.
like, go get him.
She
But
claimed too that, yeah, I just broke out of prison, and they were like, "What?"
yeah,
Man, funny as hell.
yeah, yeah. And see, I think if Tiffany Haddish was that close to me, even with makeup, I was like, you look familiar. You know, because like I can see possibly, but once she talks, she has a very unique kind of like voice, you know. And I was like, there's no way. You're telling me no one knows that's Tiffany Haddish. I'm like, especially with Eric Andre. That's the one thing, you know, was like how many people Eric Andre dealt with. He's not like a nobody anymore.
He's
You know,
not.
I mean,
I mean, he does have a very specific demographic when it comes to people that watch him. They're definitely
yeah,
more of the young
yeah.
heads. They're gonna be definitely Gen Z people. They're gonna be people that have watched his shows or know him from what is this show that he did there? Eric Andre show. Excuse me.
Yeah, but he was also in oh, the one with Kat Dennings, where they're the waitresses, Two Broke Girls.
He was in Two Broke Girls.
He was a love interest for Kat Dennings for a little while. You know,
No, no,
so I
no,
mean,
no,
he's
no.
been on.
No, it's that other film or the other show. Not Two Broke Girls, or is it Two Broke Girls? He's in another one. Damn, fuck.
I thought it was Two Broke Girls. I could be wrong
Is it
because
Two
I thought it
Broke?
was him and Kat Dennings.
I can't think of it. I gotta look it up. But
What is it?
I think it is Cat Dennings, but I don't think it's Two Broke Girls.
I never really watched it. I know my parents watched it. And I remember sitting down, you know, while they were watching
It
it.
was something. There's this one girl put me on one time. She plays
Oh, he was in the Lion King remake. He was one of the hyenas.
yeah, he was
Oh, he was in Man Seeking Woman. I don't know if
Mancy.
that's one you were talking about.
No,
That's a really weird. If you want you want a really weird show, it just kind of ended, but it's like this guy is
yeah.
trying to find women and all like, but it's also like demons from hell are living on Earth. So
Oh,
like he's
what
going out
the?
with this troll, and it's really freaking weird, really freaking weird. Um,
Let's see.
yeah,
What
he
the?
was on Two Broke Girls. He was on Two Broke Girls.
It was Two Broke. What?
Yeah,
Television. Oh,
yeah.
this is the one. Don't trust the bitch in apartment 23. That's the one I was talking about.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Was it that one? I want to say it was that one.
Oh shit. Huh. Yeah, he is on it. I never seen it though.
And then the girl from that Marvel, can't think of her name. Jessica Jones, isn't she in there?
Yeah, I just clicked on it and she's right there. I think she's the main person.
It was a show that got like canceled, or it was like a real short, like I don't know, how many seasons was
Yeah.
there? There was only one season. I don't know, but
I
anyway,
mean, yeah, a lot of his things only kind of run kind of short.
true.
You know, I mean, I guess Man Seeking Woman was really short, and I guess he wasn't a major character in Two Broke Girls, but he's in Disenchantment and stuff like that. But also
Okay.
like um the memes. He's in so many memes that are big. Like
Oh,
one where where he shoots what's his name? A
Hannibal
Hannibal Buress,
Buress. Yeah.
and it's like, why did you make me do that? And they do that so much now for everything. I'm like, people have seen that meme.
Yeah.
The gif of him shaking the gates, like, let me in.
Let me in. Let me
Yeah,
in. Yeah. Hell
for
yeah.
sure, for sure. I mean, those are two things that are like just in the meme world so hard that it's hard
He
not to
he's
see
very
that.
iconic. He's very iconic in the meme world for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Other
that
ha-
one with him doing the shooting is definitely the big one. I don't know, but yeah, he's a funny guy. But yeah, but that's the one thing I'm like, really? You don't know that's that
Eric Andre. I mean, his
I
hair was done different.
yeah.
He didn't really put any prosthetics. That was one thing I was pretty surprised.
No.
I was thinking that he was gonna put more prosthetics to really like blend in, but like
Yeah.
people didn't know him. People in Florida didn't know him. I don't know. I don't know where he was born. Like I want to say I can look it up.
He
Like
was born in Florida.
he was born in Florida. How do you not
Yeah.
know?
I'm looking at his IMDb right now.
So you blow up from Florida and you get on Cartoon Network and you do all these big ass deals, but you're not gonna know who he is? I don't know, man. Like the guys from Impractical Jokers, it's possible. Like especially the early seasons, nobody knew
Yeah.
who they were.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one knew who they were. They were able to get so much content in such a small amount of time and create
Mm,
seasons out of that. And I was like, damn, that's dope. You
yeah.
know?
But I think like you said, I think since his demographic is younger, people maybe even like early 30s, um, that they had to go to places probably, like they went to that cowboy bar. Guarantee no one probably know who Eric Andre is there.
Oh, oh hell
Yeah,
no, hell no. A bunch of like
guarantee. Yeah,
Republican, like yippee ki
like
yay, yeah.
yeah, and then also like where the little that restaurant they go to was all older people as well. So there's probably a good chance they didn't know that. So
True,
maybe I guess you would have to pick and choose like where you can go, so you don't get found out.
true,
You know,
true.
but yeah.
Um,
I mean, the same thing with like yeah.
so
Um,
question. I
yeah,
have a question for you. I
go
got a
for it.
question for you, and it's gonna get pretty graphic. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that one scene, right? The Chinese penis trap.
Yeah.
Do you know how to get out of that?
You're supposed to put it push together and then push in the middle to release the tension. So the more you keep pulling, the more
The more
it's
tighter
tighter.
it gets on your
Yeah,
grip. Yeah, I kept thinking about that. I'm like, do they know that? Like, do they know? Like, I thought they were gonna make that part of the scene. Like, wait, did we just fall in love? Or like, I don't know. I thought they were
yeah.
gonna make something out of that, but they didn't use that bit. They didn't use the bit of actually how do you get out of that. They were just like, no, cut it off, or no, like completely forget the mechanics of the trap.
Yeah. They're also
But
like they're pretty cheap. I mean, like, I ripped one apart before.
you
You
had
know,
okay.
yeah, they're not that like that, especially the cheap ones from like Chuck E. Cheese or wherever. They're not meant to last. So that's why I was like, and then also like
That's funny.
you gotta have a big old schlong
To
to
be
hook up
showing that off,
to,
right? Yeah.
and they had like it was like so stretched out. I was like, dude, you got to break a record with that thing. That was real, but it was funny. And then they play the race card. It's a Chinese finger trap, so they go to like a Chinese buffet kind of restaurant.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I did not
Yeah,
catch that. I didn't
yeah, they
know that
went
they
to a Chinese.
were they trying to piss him off? Was that a thing? Was that another like thing of their shock value? I didn't even think about that.
And no one really got mad besides the people just eating. But
Okay.
yeah, that was one thing he did say.
I forgot about that's funny.
Was like, oh hey, we got Anna said, what's up, Will?
Yeah, I know. How you
Wow, I
doing?
missed that. Sorry.
Hi, darling.
Um, but yeah, I thought that was kind of like messed up. He was like, it's Chinese finger trap, so they went to a Chinese restaurant. Like, okay, but I mean, the same thing, like you said, it's shock value. They're
Yeah.
gonna do weird, crazy stuff like that.
Hmm.
But he goes to the table and gets the water off the table, and just started like pouring it on. His jump.
Hell no, man. Like they did some crazy stuff. That's why I give them a 4 out of 5 stars again, just because they did things that like no one's done before. Like they did a few
Yeah.
things that no one's done before, and that's hard to do nowadays because everyone always says when it comes to comedy, especially because it's so subjective, it's been done before. It's been done before. No, you can always find new things and new ways to piss people off. You can find new ways to prank people. You can find new ways to
Yeah,
fuck with people's senses all the time. That's not an issue. So he's really good at really picking at you. I remember
he is.
on an interview or something like that, when Eric Andre was on Hot Ones with
Mm,
Sean Evans, he asked him a question like, "Hey, like, what are some of the things where your lawyers, which I'm sure they're heavily invested on what you do and what you don't do, like, how often do they say no to you on doing certain stunts or doing certain things?" And so one of the examples that he gave that they said that they gave the red flag, like, "No, you cannot do it, or else we're not going to back you up," is he wanted to get um, a trans man and a trans woman to do something sexual together. I'm not gonna say
mm,
exactly what because it might trigger some people. Um, but and then his lawyers were like, "No, we can't fucking do that. We can't post that, dude. Like, you
yeah,
know how much legal trouble you're gonna be? Like, no, hell no." And so
yeah,
then he's like, "Fine, fine. If we can't do that, can we, interview a celebrity and have someone behind the camera, you know, do that thing, or like, or do something else with a food item, and I don't know, something like really like off the rails." Eric
yeah,
Andre's imagination just like is crazy. He's such a
yeah,
sedated person in real life, from what I hear. He's really chill. He meditates. He goes to
yeah,
therapy, which I feel like everyone should at some point in their lives, but he's really like a grounded person, but he does this crazy stuff for his show.
yeah,
Love it.
yeah. I mean, it's not hard to figure out what triggers people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Either far left or far right or stuff like that. Or if the rare case that he does do, you could do both at the same time. It's just like, how can you make everyone mad at you? Which is a talent. That he uses for his advantage. But
true.
yeah,
But at some
he's
point, the thing that worries me, and for me, I don't care. I can watch whatever and not get triggered, easily. People nowadays are really sensitive, especially when it comes to cancel culture. You'll hear that word thrown around a lot nowadays, to where
yeah,
people, they'll say things that are, borderline bad or ethically bad or morally bad, and they'll say or do these jokes, and then like, because you did that, boom, now everybody that was, had a brand with you or an affiliation, they pull out, and you get all these,
yeah,
endorsements taken away. And it's like, holy crap, how do you draw that line, to where you don't get canceled? I wonder if is he worried about that? Is he not? Like, if I could interview
yeah,
him, I would ask him that for sure. But
yeah, yeah. I've also, I feel like if you're known to be a person that really pushes limits like he does,
okay.
then it's it's hard to not expect something crazy. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
does he get the pass to do all these
I
crazy
don't think
things
I don't know if he gets a pass,
because
but
he's
it's
known
also
to do it?
like
Because
yeah, I think it's coming. I think it's really weird when it's like somebody you don't know that it's coming from. You're like,
okay,
whoa, where with him you're like, he does crazy shit, but also I think since he does this crazy stuff on camera and for an audience,
right,
that his balance is he's able to be chill at home, like you said, like he's a very like calm person. Whenever I
yes,
watch his interviews, he did a podcast with Bert Kreischer, like Bert had him on as a guest. And like
oh,
they were just
cool,
talking, and I'm like, this dude is super chill, like
yeah,
they're talking about like all the liquors, like he's been really getting into like crazy like liquor kind of stuff, like not
yeah.
just sitting back drinking whiskey, like mixing and cocktails and all that. So like, like I mean, especially in 2020, you had to figure something to do. Um, but yeah, I mean, he was just like a super chill dude. That's the complete opposite of what you see on TV of him
Right.
jumping into his desk and drop kicking a drum set on stage or you
putting
know,
putting his hand in a blender.
yeah, yeah. Literally,
Crazy, bro.
he fell off of the like a roof or whatever at the bar. I was
Yeah,
like, dude, that's crazy.
hell yeah,
Um,
dude. He could be.
I don't know
He could have a role in the WWE at some point, man. I swear he could.
the way he treats his
He-
body,
He'll
probably.
be the new
Oh,
mankind. I bet.
yeah, damn, he's pretty tall. He's 6'2". I just have his bio up.
Oh no
Like, he's
shit.
6'2".
No, that's good to have that up,
Um,
man. 6'2". Damn, he's pretty huge.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, he's such a weird. So I know his mother's Jewish and his father is from Haiti, I believe. Uh,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
so and they even kind of crack a joke. What's her name? Tiffany Haddish, when she's like describing him, she goes, "Oh, he's got that. What do you say? He's like he looks like a white boy, but he's darker." He said like she made fun of him being like mixed.
Oh,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
but
I remember what you're talking about, but I can't put a finger on what
yeah,
term.
I don't remember exactly what she said, but I know she brought it up, like made something up. One thing I wanted to talk about was the white chick joke that
Oh, the white chicks joke. I
it
totally
started in
forgot
the
about that.
beginning and then it kind of kept rolling and they brought it up a few times before the end, kind of grand finale of it all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I thought it was a real subtle joke, but I laughed way harder than I think a lot of people did when Lil Ray was like, "Oh, in White Chicks, I thought they really were white chicks for the
White
first half
chick.
of the film." I'm like, "What? You goofy son of a bitch!"
And then even Eric Andre looking at me goes, they look like, like what
Like,
like
like,
they were
no,
Burger
dude,
Kings.
they were fucking black people in white makeup.
Yeah. But he was like getting it like turn on. He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "They're white girls, but they got that a black girl booty." I was like, they're not like. I was like, oh, it was just really like the whole part was like funny. But he brings it up a few times.
He does,
And then
and at
when
the end,
they
go ahead.
before they when they leave and they walk out of their hotel after his drunken night.
Yes.
And they brought it up again. They're like, "Oh, it won't pass." And he goes, and there's like a white girl giving pamphlets away. He goes, "Oh, look, he might be a black dude." He just walks up and she's like,
And she's like,
"No."
"No."
And then did
Hell
you kiss
no.
him when they leave? She goes, "All right, see you later." And then little Ray is like, "All right, see you later, brother."
Brother, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Goofy as hell. She has to be not in on the joke. She has to be just because the way she looked at him was like what?
yeah,
They're joking, right? They think I'm a
like,
nah.
yeah, I know.
Funny
Right?
as
Like super like white girl with long blonde hair.
yeah. Funny as
Like, are you black, dude? But
So
yeah,
tell me, you think you could mistake them for actual white chicks? Eric
no,
Andre and
no,
at first when I saw them, I was like, "Wait, who's that?" I didn't know. It didn't hit
it,
me right away about the
yeah,
joke, about the reoccurring joke about the white chicks. I was like,
yeah,
"What the hell is that? They look off, like
yeah. They
why
play it so
why
subtle
because
throughout the movie.
they just walked into the scene and I was like, huh? And they turned and they started talking. And I was like, oh, the voice, it's these guys.
Yeah,
And they fooled me at first for like I want to say 2 seconds.
because I think you weren't expecting it. Like that
Yep.
was my thing. I'm like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna do something crazy. It's gonna be stupid. And then they did that, and I was like, oh. And it's just like it's a callback. It's the same thing like we said at the beginning. It's like he doesn't know when to stop a joke, you know.
No, yeah, he just
And
keeps going and
and
going.
it's
And
really this one worked out really well. I thought.
he kept triggering a lot of people because as soon as like, that one guy, his eyebrows went up. He was just like holding his drink, like I think it was like some party, right, with some
Yeah,
like
it was like a ball, like a fancy ball kind
yeah,
of gown
right,
party.
and they go in there and they're just like fully prosthetic, and then they do their voices and they try to like fake it, but it's just like, huh? Oh snap! And the guys are like, oh my god! Like you could tell he's thinking they're trans or they're whatever. Like that's a guy or whatever
Yeah,
they're thinking.
yeah, you could tell.
You could tell by just their body language. Crazy.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, so one thing that I laughed way too hard was when they show Bud, which is Little Ray. They
Yes.
show Bud, and you kind of get a good glimpse of him as being the white girl. All right, it might be really messed up. He really looked like, I don't know who you know Trisha Paytas is.
Yeah.
So when she doesn't have makeup on,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
she looks like a completely different person.
She does.
And
She does.
I know it's really mean, or it might sound mean, but like it kind of like reminded me of her because she's short and stocky, and he's like short and stocky. So you threw a blonde wig on with some the white girl makeup, and it was just like, oh, man, that was the first person I thought of, and then. And then on the opposite, Tiffany Haddish like comes in dressed up as a white man.
Oh, she did. She did dress up as a white man.
Loving it, man.
And
She was loving it.
She killed it. She killed it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit. They really threw on all the prosthetics on her too, and threw on the fucking suit, and I don't know if they gave her
Even like talking about like the whole like white
mustache.
privilege kind of thing. She's like, yeah, I just walk right in. Ain't no one question me. Like, even when she went to go get the DJ, she's like, get the fuck off the stage. Get off the stage. She like kicks him off, and he's like, what?
Right.
So I thought that was a really well thought ending. Like, because I'm like, oh, they're gonna end it the way they did. Also, we should probably talk about the actual ending. Is they get to New York. Well, they have a little falling out. Obviously, they make up. They get to New York, and he gets in. Surprisingly, the bouncer lets him in, which I'm like, what? I was like, dude.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, is he in on it or is he not in on it? I couldn't tell. At first, I thought he wasn't, but I'm like, he had to have been in on it. But I don't know. So yeah. So he proclaims his love to her, and she's like, nah, dude. Like, I'm good, man. We can be friends.
Yeah, right. Friend zone.
Like, oh man, yeah. I was like, that's funny because it could have gone either way. I'm like, she either like yes, I love you too, or the way it did happen was like, nah, dude, you're too messed up for me, which was funny too.
And it went the latter. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think it was funnier that way, and I think it was better. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna end on any note, end on a crazy note. Like, fuck out of here, friend zone.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Made the whole trip for nothing.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
nothing. Talk about a bad trip, man.
Tiffany Haddish winds up crashing in with the cop car that she stole. That's missing a door.
Yeah. She rips the door off. She rips the door. I love the fact that they use
so
props like everywhere, and people don't know that they're props. Like when she busts the window with her elbow, that broke way too easy. There's no way Tiffany Haddish is doing that.
Yeah, no.
And if
anybody for that matter, man, those windows are hard.
Shit, dude. Like, I kept hearing that they had stunt doubles, but I'm like, where? Like, where do they have time to, get the audience or the
change them out?
Yeah, right. People that are not in on the joke, you can't switch out people. No, then it defeats the purpose of breaking the fourth wall. So I don't think so. I think they actually did some of those stunts. Tiffany Haddish definitely broke the window with her fucking elbow, but I think the window was like that really weak plexiglass that breaks like and shatters real nicely, that doesn't hurt you type deal.
Yeah, it's like candy almost. I saw somebody make it before.
Yes.
On YouTube, there's a guy who makes movie props.
Oh, okay.
It's really cool, and he showed how you make a glass bottle and like a window that you bust through and stuff like that. I'm like, that's super cool. But her ripping off the door, I don't know if she expected that because when it came off, she's like just like you know
like
to
a
do
toy.
it. Yeah.
Hell
but then she like gets in, and then like I'm like she like sped away, and she like turned that turn around. I was like, man, all right. I don't know if she expected it to be like that or what. But yeah, man, yeah. So that was super good. The one thing was, how did they film the car crash? So they wind up crashing into her car is awesome. It's that it's all pink. It says "bad bitch" on it in the back.
Oh yeah, so huge letters that take up the whole windshield.
Yeah, it's in like a cursive kind of writing. That was really good. And they crash it, but they come out, they walk out of it, and they start having like their argument. That's when their friendship starts kind of getting on the rocks, and then
Yes.
people come over and help. But I'm like, how did they do that? Because there's no way they were in that car when that happened.
No, of
I was
course
like,
not.
what? I think because that the way that car crash was bad, like
It
really bad.
was.
So I'm
I,
like, how did they sneak them in to make people think they were in the car?
I don't know, dude.
That's what I want to know. That's like my biggest thing. Like, was like, how did they do this?
I don't
You
know.
know,
I do know the car had to have been rigged with some kind of explosive right by where the
oh
gas
yeah,
tank was,
yeah,
because when they had that after boom and like,
hmm
oh snap, we could have died if we were to be stuck in there, type idea. And 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 it wasn't really the engine exploding. You could tell it was a smaller explosive, and it wasn't
yeah,
actually like real. But the fact that they had it, I'm like, no, that has to be rigged. But when you bring up
yeah.
the actual stunt of the car, going and then tipping and really like flipping over,
Flipping over, yeah,
how do you switch out the actors? I don't know, man.
yeah. That's the only thing I was like, dang, like, yeah, yeah. That. But I thought that was like pretty cool because I mean they even walk out and they got blood, from their head and they're a little beat up and stuff from the
Yeah,
crash. So I was like, somehow they had to have had it. I don't know. I don't know. It's really they might have maybe hanging out in a car on the side.
yeah.
I don't know. That's the behind the scene thing I want to see.
Right,
Stuff
the special
like that.
features.
That's
When I
really
hit
cool.
that up, and they had those skinny black girls that they were reacting all crazy, like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that!" Like,
Yeah,
I also thought they were in on it, but I'm like, nah, it couldn't have been, because it just seemed so genuine. Some of their reactions look just so, like, you can see their like hearts racing out of their chest, like they're breathing and whatnot. I'm like, oh shit!
yeah,
Like, especially with the gorilla
yeah,
scene, I saw that like so much. They were like
yeah.
flipping
So,
out.
do you want to talk about the gorilla scene, or you want to kind of skip it? Because it went a lot farther than I expected it to. A
So
lot farther. It was man.
here's my thing, right? The sound effects, I wonder if they were added in at the time with speakers to the people that were there, or was it
Hmm.
added in after? Because one thing that you hear, right? One thing that I heard, at least, even though I was seeing it from my phone and half of it from my TV screen, um, I heard the
Yeah,
kind of sound
yeah,
effect, and I was like, oh god, he's getting his actual cheeks clapped. What the fuck? And he's not trying to run or anything. I know gorillas are very, very strong. Their tensile grip is very strong. It's hard to like escape them. But I'm telling you right now, if you were put in that situation, would you not try to run? Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, you're just not gonna sit there and take it,
but
like
he
literally.
did.
But
He
yeah,
did
he
take
did.
it. He did
Yeah.
take it, and then like I I forgot how he got his attention away, or like he didn't finish right away. He got to run away.
Yeah, I think they
He
like it was
escaped.
like a scuffle or something. Or, yeah,
He escaped the enclosure, right? And then everyone's like, "Why'd you go in there?" And he's like, "Oh, I want to take a selfie, blah blah blah, for the woman that I love, because blah blah blah." And
yeah.
then and he's like, "Wait, I forgot something in there." And they're like, "No, don't go get it. What the hell? I forgot what did he forget?
His phone. His
His
phone.
phone. Oh my god."
Yeah,
And he goes back for his phone, and then the gorilla goes back to putting in the work and finishes on his face.
yeah.
That was very graphic. I don't know what was the film rated? R, right? It has to be R.
Oh, it had
Ha-
to have been.
Having
It
that
had to have
in
been.
in the cut, rated R. It's got to be rated R. I can't find it. I can't fucking find it. Anyways, I have it right here, IMDb, but it doesn't fucking show.
Yeah, it had to have been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's rated R. It's rated R. A
Is it?
minute
Yeah.
24 minutes, rated R. But that was crazy, bro. Went above and beyond, and like milked the joke for everything that it
Yeah.
had.
Also, it's like if I was a person and like not knowing what was gonna happen, and you walk into that caged area, and
Yes.
all that's separating you and a silverback gorilla is a chain link fence. At the
Ooh,
same level, nah, dude. Like,
they're busting
nope.
through.
What are you talking about, man? He can tear that thing apart with like a flick. I was like, there's no way.
For real. He'll just
People and they all just
he would
walk
make
in
a
like,
hole.
oh yeah, look, there's the monkey. I was like, that monkey can like rip your head off if it was real, obviously. But I'm like, get out of here, people. You're crazy. You're crazy. But
One
yeah, that
thing
scene was
I was gonna say, one thing that kind of made me question the actual fact of is it real or not, or are they in on the joke or not, is
mm,
when that gorilla came to the enclosure gate door, he stopped, right? At that point, I know everybody has a flight or fight kind of reaction to things like that, but no one
mhm.
ran. Everybody stayed still and had their
Yeah,
phones just pointing like
yeah.
in shock. I don't know,
Well,
man.
some of them I think were like
I would want
trying
to
to get
run. I would want
the
to run.
attention.
I would want to
Yeah, no,
run
I'm done.
because if you don't run and you're the closest to the gorilla or whatnot or any of those like wild animals, they're
Uh,
strong as hell. You're dead meat. They're gonna just grab you and
you're
toss you
next. You're
up like
next.
like a rag doll and call it a day. But if you're farther away, why didn't you run? No one ran. They didn't show that in the cut, but like I was like, nah, they're in on the joke. They're in on the joke because like that was too crazy. If you actually like really lose yourself in the film and say like, oh shit, like if I were to be in that, what would actually happen? But I know,
Yeah,
obviously these are just pranks. They're pranks for shock value. Again, I'll say that theme time and time again for this film. But yeah,
yeah,
very
that was yeah.
very well done. 4 out of 5 stars. And you gave it how many stars again?
That's like 3.5, 4, so I'm like right around the same range. But like I said, it's a very, very specific kind of genre of movies that you don't see very often. Like action movies,
True.
there's a million out every month. But
True.
like a prank hitting camera is very rare. Bad Grandpa was the probably another good one that was probably the last one.
Yes,
Because it's just a Bo Rat, like you said, Bo Rat. They're hard to do.
they are.
Especially with somebody like Bo Rat who had the level of fame that he got. He couldn't do those pranks as much as he used to because everybody knows who that is.
Everybody knows.
And they brought in I think the female, his daughter, and she stole the
Yes.
show. And she did a lot of the pranks, like the higher end pranks, kind of stuff, with like Rudy Giuliani and all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
So I don't know. Maybe that might did it is like having two people, so you're not focusing just on Eric Andre.
Yes.
Maybe might have a thing. So yeah, I don't know. That was but yeah, man, that was a good movie overall. I laughed like hard at some of the points.
Me too. Me too. Oh, I was
The
pretty
white chick
invested.
part at the end. That was, this is
Uh,
just the cherry on top. Like, hey, remember that little thing we kept talking about? Like,
yeah,
boom. She
I did.
called him a turtle. She goes, "You look like a turtle," and I don't think he expected her to say that. He's like, "What?"
And he didn't know if he wanted to throw hands or not. Like did he just?
Yeah. I think there's another part where when he throws up, and it's a lot of throw up, and it's really
Oh
funny.
yeah,
Like,
he,
throw up,
like projectile throw up.
and he's like, "Give me a drink, give me a drink." I'm like, "Who's gonna give him a drink?" And then somebody comes and gives him a drink, and as she hands it to him,
Oh, yeah.
comes out.
He downed
Like,
within about like a minute. He downed like 3 or 4 shots,
yeah,
calling it casual play, and he was like getting drink after drink. He got super shit faced. I don't know how real
yeah,
all that was. I'm pretty sure some of that was
yeah.
water. I know, but like
The bartender definitely had to have been in on it.
I
Definitely,
agree. I
yeah.
agree.
Because if you start seeing somebody like that, you're kicking them out of the bar. So.
For
But
sure.
but then so they go back to the hotel, and he puts him down in the bed and takes off his shoes, and he like looks at him, and he's
Yeah.
like, and then Bud goes to turn off the light, and it doesn't turn off. He's like, what the fuck? And you hear it click click, but it keeps and I felt
Yeah,
like that was like a real reaction because like he just
yeah.
meant to turn it off, but it wouldn't. And he's like, and he kept trying to turn it off, and he couldn't. So like little things like that where like you get a real reaction, and they
Yeah,
keep it in there. I'm like, that's funny.
that was cool for sure.
Yeah. I don't know, any last like thoughts of the movie? We're coming up. We're going for about an hour already.
Yeah, I would say if you're looking to watch a film that's really raunchy, if you're in the younger demographic from the ages of call it 16, 15 to 38, 40,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you might like it. I think it might be your cup of tea. If you like Bad Grandpa, if you like Borat, definitely it might be your cup of tea. If
Yeah.
not, then don't watch it. Don't complain about it. Let it shine on its own. I don't think like it's like you said earlier, right? You mentioned it's a number one spot on Netflix. That's saying something. I don't know. Is to do that well and it be for a very specific audience and have that much praise. It's got to be worth watching. So I say
Yeah.
I definitely recommend watching it. Um, will I watch it again? And I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Yeah, I'd watch it again. I'd watch it one more time. Just to see if I missed anything else. Some movies, like when I watch them, like I want to watch them and then never watch them again. Kind of like we
Yeah.
talked about last week with Dark. What is it?
Justice League.
Snyder's cut
Yeah.
of Justice League. Yeah, that one. Like I won't touch that one for a while. I'll watch it again, but like not for a long, long while. You know what I'm saying? So
Like
this
a
one,
board
I'd
day.
watch it again. I'd watch it like sooner than later. Pretty funny. Pretty like crazy pranks. I
Yeah.
definitely recommend it. What do you think? Would you watch it again?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I think if I'm like bored or I just want something on in the background, that's kind of like and I don't feel like in a crappy mood. Like I want to laugh. Definitely. Even like I watched it by myself. So if like my girlfriend wants to see it and she's like, all right, let's watch it. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'll definitely be down to watch it. So
Okay.
yeah, it's definitely worth watching again. It's a short movie. I think it was like about an hour and a half.
Yep. A minute
Wasn't
24. Minute, an hour and a half, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's about a good length for a movie like this. Maybe anything closer to 2 hours would be way too much, I think, and it would be a little. You would be getting over it, But I liked it. I liked it, and then like you said, see things that you might have missed again. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like there's so much happening when they're recording with all the different people and all their reactions. Like even at the end, at the post credits, as the screen's rolling and she's hanging Chris over the
Yeah.
end,
The
she's
balcony.
talking
Yeah.
about it. She goes, you're amazing. She's yelling at the lady who was like the main person that was on,
Yeah.
but she goes, oh, you people back there, you just eating and watching me gonna kill this man. I'm like, I didn't even notice that. So like that's something when I watch it again, I want to look at. It's
You
like the
would look at
people,
that.
it's like they're just like, like oh, what the? I'm just gonna sit here and eat and watch her kill this guy. I thought that was like super funny, because that kind of like points out like to the viewer too, is like, you might have missed that, So
True.
so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I missed that I would want to watch again. But I liked it. It was really good. It was really good. It made me laugh, and that's so like that was well needed. You know,
For
the
sure.
action and all the other stuff that we get with the MCU and all this crazy stuff coming out. A movie like this that is just super funny. Yeah, yeah. I wish it would have came out during COVID somehow, but we got it now.
You think they'll make a part two?
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I don't know. I think it has potential, but we'll wait and see for sure.
I mean, they could do it where Tiffany Hash may be part of the group, and they're trying to. Because remember, she still escaped from the law, so she's still
Yeah.
out. I think she said she was going to keep being the white guy and go to Mexico or some shit. So I mean,
Yeah.
that could have been a whole movie in itself. Is them smuggling this criminal out of the country? I mean,
She
that
she can get more prosthetics on her face and really change up her appearance to really get
yeah, they
talk
could
to
do
more
some.
people. They could do something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, they could definitely do something with it. I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. Um,
Want to do some
Well, yeah,
plugs?
man. So I think, huh?
Want to do some plugs?
Um, yeah. So next week, if you're still down to do this, man, is Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla versus Kong. Where's that coming out? Where's that being released?
HBO Max. That's gonna be HBO Max, and I believe that comes out on the 31st. So you have a little bit more than a weekend to watch it. But it's the big movie that's gonna be, you know, like the weekend release kind of thing.
So when does that come out again?
In like 2 days, the 31st.
Okay, so that'll be for next week's episode. I'm down.
So totally next Monday, Godzilla vs. Kong. That's gonna be
Godzilla vs. Kong.
I cannot wait for that movie. It looks so stupid, fun, action packed.
Hell yeah, dude.
Monkey versus lizard. Yeah. It's just mindless action, which is sometimes just perfect.
If that doesn't bring back Rampage vibes and like maybe a future game come back, who knows? That'd be cool. I don't know what does. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. I've been avoiding any of the newer trailers because I don't want to know anything else. I already know enough. They're gonna fight. That's all I need to know.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, next week we'll definitely come back and we'll talk about that movie. Anything you want to plug for your own personal channels?
Sure. If you can please follow me on YouTube, Twitch. I'm also on TikTok at PeppaMD. You'll be able to see it on the screen right here. And yeah, go ahead and follow me if you like to laugh. If you like, interesting, space exploration kind of topics and really, crazy session talks like that. Follow me. Love to hear what you want to say. Definitely leave a share the video, like the video with all your friends, and we can keep doing this week and week again and again. It's really fun. I love doing this.
Yeah. There's always gonna be a new movie coming out, so I love watching the newer movies too. Hopefully, when the theaters come back, we could do some theater, watch them in the theaters instead of at home.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, all the links for your if you want to follow Will are gonna be down in the description, either YouTube or Facebook, stuff like that. And yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys next week.